we're hanging out like we're home. So I'm gonna call you. That's what Soulful Afro. Soulful Afro is about, doing it from the base, from the root, naturally and with love. So that's how we roll. So we're gonna call you Maple. So tell me a little bit about you and how Finisher Spit Club started.
Well, for me, I was a newcomer up to Cambridge and to Mass. I had moved up there from Jersey back in 1990, and most of the founding members and the first individuals to join Finishers were the ones that had welcomed me with like open arms. And so, what happened was that years went on, and we all stayed close.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a bunch of people that is as special as the people that were in that first group.
Mm-hmm.
Their family, friends. So I've been very fortunate to have been moved up there by my mom. And so what happened is, fast forward 20 plus years,
Uh-huh.
and I started running about 5 years ago because one of my friends had asked me to join him in a relay marathon.
Okay.
Down here in Baltimore, Maryland. And so I did the relay marathon, and that led to me running.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Boyd, who's my right hand brother from another mother.
Yes.
And he used to be a track star, a track athlete at the highest level back in high school, and then afterwards also. And you know how brothers do. We all kind of grow up. We may gain a couple pounds here and there. So I had challenged him. I challenged him to a race just based off of the strength of, that's my good brother. I was like, come on, man, you can lose a couple pounds. And of course, when he heard that challenge, he said he's going to beat me. He said he's going to beat me as soon as I challenged him.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, he didn't run one race in 20 years. And he said, regardless of that, he's going to beat me.
Yeah.
So it started with just that friendship, that brotherly love and family love, and that challenge, and that competitive challenge, but just out of love, not out of trying to really beat someone. I wasn't, he didn't care if I beat him. I didn't care if he beat me. It was just out of that love and out of the fun.
Yeah. And that's,
that's what Finishers came out of.
And that's, to the listeners, that love, that's the third, Rudy, that love is really present when you step into the space. My friend Justine and I had the pleasure of running with the crew on Sunday, but we met folks on Saturday. And Shay, tell us a little bit about, you're sort of the female sort of keeping the group together, but you're younger than, you're Jason's younger sister, you're younger than Mayfield and Rudy, but you seem to hold your own in the midst because there's also this very strong sense of community and respect that no one's willing to mess up.
Yeah. I have had, and I have to thank, Jason and our eldest brother Coleman, but certainly Mayfield and Rudy and Bruce and Leroy and Renee, and just all of Coleman and Jason's peers who have become my family, who have served as older brothers and sisters, even though we don't have the same parents. And you witnessed it yourself. They talk a lot of trash.
They do.
There are a lot of strong personalities, so I have had no choice but to hold my own. And I thank them for that. It has served me well, not just in terms of health and wellness stuff, but professionally my academic pursuits, with my youth work, just with everything I've done, there are elements of that stick-to-itiveness and that strength that I have certainly inherited from my big brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And, you know, the finishers, we formalized it and gave it a name. But like Mayfield said, you know, this has really been a love relationship
Yes.
that's been many decades in the making.
Yes.
And it's been beautiful to open that up
Mm-hmm.
and add love to the village. You know?
And the thing is that, you know, I said, I wrote this on Monday after the race, and I opened the show with talking about my history in running.
Yeah.
Running has been a part of my life since I was very young. And my list is very short of the years I've been in Boston, where I felt like I was received with open arms, at that same energy of home, of goodness, of just meeting you where you're at, no judgment, was felt. And I felt that on Saturday and Sunday. So Mayfield, what is it about this group? Like, how would you describe this group? Now, folks are listening that haven't been around us, haven't met you, haven't met Cachet. How would you describe this group?
I mean, the one thing that I'm gonna tell you is that, like my good sister Renee always says, it's that and then some. You know, when you got friendship, fellowship, and then
And
some. Somebody, good sister says, and it's that and then some that I think is just a real special part to the actual finishers. You know, there's a lot of fitness groups. There's a lot of different groups out there that are exercising together and fellowshipping together, but it's the and then some that I think is a special element.
Yeah.
With this group, and I really think that that's why that it folks can't help but gravitate to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you can feel that out there. And when those finishers are at that finish line, welcoming in their fellow finishers, it's a special feeling that you may have, whether you come in second to last or you coming in first in that group. You know, it's that feeling of family, and it's that and then some that really makes you feel at home.
Yeah. And Cachet, now let's talk for the ladies. You know, we did pretty good on Sunday, I have to say. So, you know, we have the brothers are present, thank you, Mayfield, but the sisters are doing pretty good, and some of the sisters are not sisters that ran before, but they're putting in that time and that work.
Yes. You know, it's a beautiful camaraderie that we have. But more than that, you know, there's a push. So I don't know, and this is, I'm not overstating it. You would be hard pressed, anyone would, to find a more beautiful group of sister warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sisters are really out here stretching themselves,
Yes.
stepping out of their comfort zone, setting goals, smashing those goals, looking fabulous the whole way through, and really lifting one another up.
Yeah.
Working in concert with the brothers to just really make sure we prioritize health and wellness, that we be a support for ourselves, but also for one another. And, you know, I'm not one to start no nasty rumors or nothing, but there's a couple of sisters that are coming for the podium. We have a big race coming up in May. And there are a couple of sisters that are definitely putting in the training hours to challenge some of those podium spots.
See, I'm one of them. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after Mayfield and your brother. I'm trying to not be so far behind them. So I'm definitely one of them. So I can do some trash talking at work.
For real.
I love it. Now that's what it's about. That's what it's about. You know, and because I mean, I'm gonna tell you, man, I see a lot of hard work done, and Yvette, we use the Map My Run
Mm-hmm.
app, just so we can see like one another, because I know me, I'm down here in DC, so I don't see these folks regularly. But when I see on that app the work that is being done, when I see the work that's happening,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you talking about, I mean, this thing is absolutely, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's just inspirational. It's just amazing. You're talking about folks that never ran are
Mm-hmm.
now running 3 times a week.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, you're talking about, I got sisters that I know that just finished a 5-mile race, right? They didn't even really do sports during high school.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And now they're running 13 miles, 5
Mm-hmm.
miles, and they're getting older, but they're actually getting younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And my whole thing for me, I mean, I've always run through the winter, but let me tell you, this added a whole nother level of I can do anything now. I got up one morning and I ran in 9 degrees. I was like, I'm done. Tell me anything. I can do it all. Because I just walked outside and was like, it's 9 degrees, but I'm dressed and I'm just going to go ahead and do this, you
I'm
know?
gonna make it work.
Yeah. So,
It's the resiliency, you know.
and the fact that you know you're not doing it alone. So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back because I want to bring Rudy into the conversation. But you two hold on. Don't go anywhere. We'll, Soulful Afro family, we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.